really bad end to a year, right? So we have a strong start because we had a terrible end. December was atrocious. So that helps a bit. It also helps to have a year where you're down and earnings are up 25%. So I think you have that combination of things. And we've really had a few things that have pivoted this year that have really kick-started. So we had the Fed obviously pivot in January and got even more dovish at their last meeting. We've actually had a stabilization of the downdraft of earnings estimates, so that's good. The S&P 500 estimate for 2019 is actually where it's been at for 3 weeks. So that's the first time we've seen that kind of stabilization. And then there's the impression that we're probably going to get a deal done at some point with China. And that's a significant headwind that's been with us for a year. So I think those three things are really helping propel the markets this year.
And Dom, today, there's a little bit less talk about the yield curve inversion. And
right.
There's Goldman saying, well, it's not the 3-month tenure that matters so much. It's really the 2-year tenure. And we're not really seeing that yet.
It's something interesting, and Mike Santoli had been talking about this for a while, too, this idea that we kind of focus on certain parts of the yield curve, and those certain parts tell different stories at different times. However, one of the things that we have been paying close attention to is this idea that the financial stocks, banks in particular, not just the money centers, but the regionals, the ones that do more traditional lending, have been a weak spot. And that's been troublesome. And some people are making comparisons to whether or not the low interest rate environment on a persistent basis, like in places in Japan, have really depressed the financial sector. So as we talk about what's going to happen for the coming months, one of the places a lot of folks are looking beyond the yield curve and its obvious implications are whether or not those banks can still thrive in an environment like that, where cyclicality should be a helpful tailwind.